Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology 17.4. Okay, in this section we're going to learn about the skeletal muscles. So skeletal muscles, from the name, 根據個名啦 you will know that it is related to skeletons or bones and the muscles. 咁就會關我哋嘅肌肉啦同埋我哋嘅骨頭事嘅。Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so muscles is like making up 40% of our body weight. And remember, there are actually more than one type of muscles. 係有多過一種嘅。Okay, so what exactly are skeletal muscles? So what are they? So just now we are saying that it has some correlation. 佢會有啲嘅 relationship 啦，有啲嘅關係啦 between 呢個嘅 skeletons and the muscles. So it is actually 係 attached to the bones. 佢係一啲 muscle 啦 attached to the bones. Okay, so these muscles are called the skeletal muscles. Alright, so how are the muscles joined to the bones? 有啲咩會連接佢哋呢？ What is connecting the muscles and the bones? 我哋就會講啦 The thing is called the tendon. 中文就係腱啦。Okay, so in the previous section 喺前一節嗰度啦 we learned that between two bones 兩個骨頭之間 there is a linking. The link 就係啲乜嘢啊？ The link is the ligaments. Okay, so in between two bones are the ligaments. But now what we're talking about is the link between muscle and bones. 一個係肌肉，另一個係骨。And the link is called tendon. 就係一個腱啦。So please make sure that you do not mix up ligament and tendon. Okay, so let's move on. This diagram is very good. Okay, so as you can see here, the red thing is the muscle. This one is the bone. And in between them, linking. This link is the tendon. 就係一個腱啦。Alright, so what is a skeletal muscle? 咁究竟呢個骨骼肌係啲咩嚟嘅呢？ So of course it is a muscular tissue. 佢係一個組織嚟嘅啦。And what is the unit? 個單位係啲乜嘢啊？ They are actually elongated cells. 佢係延長咗嘅細胞啦。And these elongated cells are called the muscle fibers. 佢係一個肌肉纖維嚟嘅。So as you can see here, the one I'm highlighting, this one is one muscle fiber, or we say one muscle cell. 一個肌肉嘅細胞。And then they're grouped. 佢哋會組成一齊啦 and they will form a bundle. Bundle 就係解一束束啦。Okay, a bundle of flowers, 一束花啦。And eventually, how do they form a skeletal muscle? 點樣形成一嚿肌肉呢？ So they are surrounded by connective tissues. So connective tissues, we have learned this word, they're just like connecting different things together. 會連接唔同嘅嘢嘅。Alright? So, this thing, if you remember correctly, okay, so this arrangement, 呢個嘅組織啦 is very similar to that of a nerve. 同一個神經線 is very similar. Alright? So for nerve, you will see nerve fiber, okay, and then you will see the bundles are connected together to form a nerve. Okay, so the nerve is actually also connected, joined together by the connective tissues. 佢都會有一啲嘅呢啲嘅結締組織啦，呢啲嘅 connective tissue 就會將佢哋包埋一齊，成為一條神經線嘅 to form a nerve. Alright, so that's all. Okay, so one last thing about this one is a bit extra, 有啲額外嘅啦。So when we look under the microscope, when we look at the muscle fiber, 當我哋睇一個肌肉纖維嗰陣時啦 we can see striations. 自己去讀一讀啦 striations. So striations means 一間間嘅，分開嘅。Alright, so you can see striations of light bands and dark bands. Bands 即係代表一條條條紋啦。Okay, 條紋啦。And light means lighter color, 淺色少少嘅啦。Dark means darker color, 深色少少嘅。So you can see these striations. For example, when you look at this diagram. Okay, so we're not looking at like this. We're not looking at horizontally. 唔係打橫睇. We're looking at vertically. 打直睇嘅。So when you look at it vertically, you will see, oh, there are a lot of striations. 有啲係 lighter color 啦 and then 就會有一個 darker color, lighter color, darker color, lighter color, darker color 咁樣嘅。So we call this type of 呢個嘅 striations, 或者我哋 call this type of skeletal muscle 啦，就會叫 striated muscles. Okay, 條紋肌啦。 Okay, so you'll see a lot of striations. Okay, so and then we move on to the next page. 去到下一個頁嗰度啦。And then we know that the contraction of skeletal muscle， 我哋嘅肌肉去收縮啦 ，are usually under conscious control， 通常係有意識嘅。So if it is a conscious action, can you tell me right away？ 可唔可以即刻答到我 ？Which part of the brain is involved？ 邊一個部分嘅腦係關事㗎 ？So the answer is cerebrum， 大腦啦。Okay, so therefore this muscle contraction， 我哋嘅 skeletal muscle contraction， 亦都同一時間啦，就會叫做 voluntary muscles. Okay, because our cerebrum controls voluntary actions. Okay, 隨意動作㗎嘛。And then, however, remember that 我哋嘅 skeletal muscle can also contract， 可以收縮得 involuntarily， 可以係唔隨意咁樣收縮嘅。Okay, for example, reflex actions. So think about the withdrawal reflex。And the knee-jerk reflex. So both of them are the reflex actions, and you're doing it, you're contracting your muscles involuntarily. 係唔隨意咁樣做嘅。Alright? The last bit, please also help me copy this word down. This word is called shivering. So shivering means 你打震啦、顫抖啦 ，OK 打冷震啦。So shivering is also one involuntary action. And why did you shiver? 點解喺咁短時間之內可以喐到咁多下呢 ？Why can you move your body so much with such a high frequency in such a short time? Okay, the reason is because you're receiving rapid and frequent 一個好高速同埋一個好有頻率嘅 rapid and frequent nerve impulses. Alright, and this nerve impulse is also an involuntary control of your skeletal muscles. 亦都係一個唔隨意嘅動作嚟嘅。Shivering is also an involuntary action. Alright? Okay, so the last part we're going to talk about the different types of muscles. Okay? So this was really like extension. 一個額外嘅嘢啦。Okay, but it's better if you hear it for one time. So we have the smooth muscles and the cardiac muscles. Smooth muscle, what does it mean? So you can find it like not really muscle. We don't really consider it as real muscle we're touching. 我哋唔會覺得佢係一嚿真實嘅肌肉嘅。Like we're touching our hand that can be so called 可以叫做係一個真正嘅 muscle 啦 ，the real muscle. However, this muscle where can you find it? Okay, 喺邊度揾得到啊 ？The internal organs 一啲嘅內臟位置啦。For example, your small intestine 你嘅小腸 ，and also the walls of the blood vessels 你嘅血管壁。Alright, so there are some features 有啲嘅特性啦。You will see that it's so different from the previous diagram 同之前嗰幅圖好大分別喎。You will see that there is no striations. Okay, you can find no striation and they are spindle shaped. What does it mean by spindle shape? 佢哋係廚房狀㗎。So what is I'm now trying to draw a spindle shape. Okay, I'll try my best. So this thing is like a spindle shape. Alright, 一個廚房嘅。Alright. So this smooth muscle, remember, they're under involuntary control. This one is really easy. So just take the small intestine for example. Okay, so small intestine, how do they move the food? How do they move 呢個食物呢 By peristalsis. So peristalsis in Chinese is 蠕動啦 and this peristalsis, of course, they are moving involuntarily. They are involuntary action. You do not need to control the muscle of your small intestine to force the food to go down. 你唔需要去自己控制嗰啲小腸嘅肌肉啦，去擠嗰個食物落去嘅。Alright? And then the last one we're going to talk about is the cardiac muscle. Cardiac 指到對呢隻字啦 ，cardiac. So cardiac means it is related to our heart, and you can only find cardiac muscle in the heart only. 心肌當然啦，就只能夠喺心臟嗰度揾到嘅啫。And as you can see, it's very much like the real muscles. You can find striations. 你都會見到一間間嘅。Okay. However, you can also see that when you like look more carefully, you can see that it is branched. First, for example, here is one branch, second branch, and then this one is the third branch. Okay. So we can see that it is actually branched. So why is it branched? What's the good thing about it? 有啲咩好處啊？ you can transmit the signals more rapidly, more efficiently. 你可以更加快、更加迅速咁樣啦，傳遞你嘅信息啦。So we're going to learn this one in book 5 about the cardiac muscle. Okay, so one thing about this one, normally for all our muscles, how do they contract? 點解會突然間 contract？ 點解會突然間收縮嘅咧？ The reason is because it receives something. 佢收到啲嘢啦。It receives nerve impulses. Alright, so normally when a muscle receives nerve impulses, it will contract. However, for the cardiac muscle, it is different. Cardiac muscle actually has a system so that 佢會有一個好特別嘅一個系統㗎 so that it will be able to contract itself. 佢會自己自動自覺咁樣去收縮㗎。It can actually generate, okay, electric signals. Sorry. So it can generate electric signals. Electrical signals, I think. 佢會自己能夠產生一個電脈衝嘅。Okay, so it can generate electrical signals itself in the heart so that it can tell the muscles, the cardiac muscle, to contract itself. 得唔得? Alright, so as you can see, this one is quite strange. You will see that it is not talking about contract voluntarily, involuntarily. 唔係一個隨意不隨意嘅動作. It just contracts automatically because the heart will generate 一個嘅 electrical signal itself. Okay, so that's all about this section, and I'll see you in the next one. The next one is going to be a bit more difficult. Okay, so please get ready for it. Bye bye.